Yo, welcome to the New Normal Podcast. I want to tell everyone thank y'all for tuning in. If you're watching the video, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share the channel with everybody. Share with your mama, your daddy, your side dude, your husband, your wife, your old childhood friend. Share it with everybody. Let them know about the New Normal Podcast because we've been giving y'all great content and we want everybody to join in and follow us. Also, this is a call-in show. Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. These are call-in shows. So feel free to call in if you got something that you would like to say. Today, we're going to be talking about civil unrest. There's a lot of things that's going on in the world right now. And I see people on high alert. And this is like the first time that I've seen so many people actually seem to be concerned about what's going on in the Middle East and concerned about us actually going to war. What you think?
Yeah, because for the sake of getting flagged, I had some graphic videos where they was, pulling the women out the rubber, kids. This is what it looks like at wartime, and I think we've been insulated so long that people don't believe this can be here
Right.
or this can take place here. But as history has shown, you got many firsts.
Yeah.
You got many firsts. This will be another first. And like I said, if you look at just how society is transitioning, it's almost as if they're planning for it to not be not to operate in the same capacity that is operating today with the workers. You got education in the toilet. You got a bunch of stuff taking place simultaneously. I don't
So
think
basically, they're about to terraform this bitch.
it's terraforming right now. Yeah, they've been doing it for the last, I say, 20 years. This ain't just started.
Yeah. I think if we go to war, it won't look the same. This might be the one that's been prophesied in the Bible, the end all end. We start with all the nuclear shit. That might be scary.
Yeah, but you gotta. I mean,
Because another thing is, this is a thing I've been seeing. You seen the Iron Dome that's supposed to be over Israel?
uh,
They're supposed to have an Iron Dome over there. That's why a lot of the Iran missiles don't be hitting Israel like that.
I ain't see that.
Yeah, I wanted to look at it. Donald Trump talking about they want to build one over America.
Yeah,
I don't know how it
that's gonna
works.
take a lot of. You talking about covering the whole America? Dog. That's a lot of.
Look, I don't know. Because that's why he was talking about he wanted to get Canada in there too, because it don't make sense to basically cover it all, even Canada too. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know the logistics, but I'm pretty sure if you put the right people there, you could probably build it pretty quick.
Yeah, because you got borders, you got Canada right there, you got Mexico. How do you cut that off? You got Mexico, who some parts you can cut through Texas,
Mm-hmm.
California the back way. Like
I said, I don't know. I was just wondering.
I don't know. I don't know because you got water. I don't know. I don't know how that would look as far as how it would how it would affect how we do business.
And the crazy part about it, they got a Simpsons episode like that where Simpsons was covered with like a dome, so they could dodge missiles and shit.
Now they may have some new tech that they're gonna drop, but I think that'll be more feasible than the Iron Dome. That's gonna you get in the
Look,
water, the weight of that, storms.
see, I don't know if it touches the ground. Does it float in the air? Like I don't know, like the logistics of it at all. Like I said, I just wanted to see it.
Nah, I ain't said we may look into that
Yeah.
and see what that is. It's some it was another story. We may get to it today. I ain't sent it to you, but I put it on my story if you follow my Instagram, Legacy May, and I wanted to touch on it, which was the black boys missing in Canada.
Oh man, I ain't seen that. I seen it on your story, but I ain't really
Yeah,
seen
I
no
forgot to
headline.
send it to you.
That and the nuns.
Yeah, and they found them. That was in Ireland.
Yeah, that was Ireland.
Yeah, 796
96
babies
babies, yeah, in the septic tank.
in a septic tank.
Yeah.
But like I said, we try to give y'all information and media that you won't get on your regular timelines, your mainstream media outlets. They're not talking about 796 babies and infants being found in a septic tank at a nun's house. They're not talking about 1,500 kids in Canada missing. But the war times that we in, which is I think will be the most critical, because at any time this can go super left.
Right.
So you want to get into the message from the Iranian leader? I can't pronounce his name for nothing. I'm gonna get it down.
Play that one.
Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said in his televised address this morning that the U.S. should know Iran is not one to surrender. He warned a U.S. military incursion would result in damage, and Iran will stand firmly in the face of imposed war.
So Iran, I've been seeing these messages from last night to the day that Iran said they had a surprise. What do you think the surprise is?
I'm gonna tell you about those Muslims in that area. They're very unpredictable and they're super convicted in their beliefs to where they'll sacrifice themselves.
Yeah.
So it's no telling what the surprise is. See, a lot of stuff we think because we haven't seen it on TV, because we haven't seen it on the algorithm, that it has not been created and it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Does food show everything they got? Right. The smart man play stupid or play weak.
And that's the thing that's, to me, is scary because supposedly Iran did retaliate and hit some oil ships.
Yeah,
that's why Trump had to leave real quick when he was at the G7 meeting because they actually retaliated by hitting some oil ships in the Strip.
Yeah, I think, like I said, when you start affecting the dollars, because people may think it's direct violence against the people. It could be, hey, we're about to sabotage your economy. You know, we're about to cut off a natural resource or tamper with a natural resource that generates revenue and makes the country flow.
Yeah, and what's also scary is the amount of money that we send to Israel that we have no choice in sending it or not. Like all those people that in Texas that in that county found out they sending $4 million a year to Israel, and they said they want to stop. And they said it's Greg Abbott talking about that was anti-Semitic because y'all don't want to send money to Israel. Like what? We just don't want our money going over there.
That's the go-to line. And if you don't agree or if you don't buy down or submit to what our demands, you look at the ownership, and they own that. They own the apartments.
Right.
Like, shout out to man. I'm gonna give him a plug. Sub-Zero. He got one of the realest podcasts outside of ours that's uncut, unfiltered, and calling it how it is with these Jews.
Yeah.
So you got 4 million coming from a state. You got another couple billion coming from the country.
That's clear. That's not a state.
I'm sorry, the city.
That's a
town.
A town is some small.
Yeah.
So I ain't no telling how many others because they was like some happenstance shit. They were just doing an audit.
So you know it's coming from some other cities too.
Right. And that we you think about that 4 from that little spot.
Yeah.
You got billions going to Israel.
And all of their, if you don't know about the Israeli society or the infrastructure, all that stuff is subsidized. Mm-hmm. They don't pay no insurance. Education is free, healthcare, all of that. Mm-hmm. And it's funded by us, the taxpayers.
See, I just wonder why we so in bed. Like I said, I think part of it is because I heard somebody say they don't think it's with the religious aspect. I think part of it is the religious aspect. That's why we see so many Christians that go with Israel because they believe it's the Holy Land. But other people thinking it's just like more diabolical. They got some stuff. They been in bed with the United States and they did some basically like blood in, blood out. Like if you don't support us, we're gonna have to air your dirty laundry.
I think it's deeper than that. I think Israel and the Jews has something so diabolical. Because if you just look at the unwavering support that it's got from America, right, and just how people fear them, some people don't even want to say Jews on their platform, because they'll get canceled. Kanye, I think if they can cut your money off, just like that, and say you owe this. Dan Bazarian, he made a post. He was supporting Palestine or the Palestinians, and his business did just start going in the tank. He had something going on in Canada or something. So I think they have something that is almost like a kill switch. And I think it's that to where they would say, well, we're going to the Holy Land anyway, and we got whatever bunkers we need that it won't affect us. Mm-hmm. I think they have something so diabolical over here that if the Americans stop doing what they've been doing, the whole is over for everybody.
So it'd be like a blackout. Like you talk about like the blackout, the systems get taken over, water get polluted. It could be all just a whole bunch of stuff just go awry just one time.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more than that. Like you said, you got people who took the jab.
So they hit a button and you just
you just don't know. Oh. Like I know we didn't get it. We got so much content we can't get to it all. R. Kelly, I'm think this is a targeted assassination. Because if he gonna tell his story, if he's to get out, or he could be writing it right now.
So you think he got more deeper story than what we just?
Yeah, because these guys are supreme talent. You know what happens? their fans are not just they get all type of fans.
Mm-hmm.
Big dog fans. The dude like the Indian in India flew Rihanna out for 9 million.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you get invited to some of these spaces, you see things,
Mm-hmm.
you know things, you get put in these circles. Hey, I want you to do this, sing this song for my girl type. You just never know.
Right.
So I don't think this is as simple as him overdosing in jail, because one, how he get this stuff in there first. That's one, how I get in here.
Right.
Two, what was it? They ain't said nothing. They ain't gave no updates or nothing. Just
probably the same shit Jamie Foxx was on. Why he had to go sit down for a minute. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard to say, man. People are so unpredictable with the stuff we see.
Yeah, I just think with this Israel and Iran thing, I think because from what I see, so many the American people, they don't want war. Nobody wants to sign up. Nobody wants to go. Nobody's okay with it. And then like that clip that I posted on the Instagram about Tucker Carlson and can't think of his name right now. Senator, what that man name is? Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz. Oh, he ate him up. Yeah, that's it.
I heard posted before you said I had posted on the page.
Yeah.
And he asked, he said, how many people stay in Israel? He said, I don't know. I mean, in Iran, he said, I don't know. He said 92 million. He said, you okay with basically ethnically cleansing 92 million people? He said, well, what is the makeup of that? And he was like Persian and I forgot what else he said.
He ain't know none of the analytics.
He don't know nothing. It's like y'all are just okay. Y'all just jump on this bandwagon to just get rid of 92 million people.
And Tucker Carlson play both sides to a degree.
He do play both sides. He does. He definitely does.
So
that's the only part about him that I don't like. Cause one minute he sound like he makes sense, and then the next minute it's like, how you hit a 360 like that? That's why everybody turned on him on Fox. That's why he kind of left Fox, because one minute he was saying one thing, and the next minute he started saying another thing.
And then Piers Morgan just all the way biased with Israel. But like I said, I think it's just we're in a different time. The people that don't want to go to war have, because the rich profit off the war and they have the most assets and the most to lose, yet they're gonna send the poor motherfucker to go fight their war for them, even though what they fight for. Right. How many cows just came back from Iraq, Afghanistan, and so many other, Vietnam, under the premise of what, liberty, when they get mistreated when they get back here.
Or let's think about when we went to Afghanistan. Like I said, on the other podcast, y'all said y'all was going over here for this thing, but y'all over there, raiding the poppy fields, and now we got an opioid epidemic in America.
Exactly.
So we're starting to see a lot of these correlating things that y'all say we go to war for, but then we start, as time progressed, we starting to see, hey, y'all ain't go over here for no weapons of mass destruction. Cat would say, y'all didn't find a water gun? What? The leader of this country hiding up under a bunker. Like, they got this type of weaponry. You mean to tell me he hiding underground in a bunker, and y'all got to move a car to find him? He looking like he been in this for 45 days. Like, come on, man. Y'all really do be playing with us and making us act like, telling us that we stupid, basically.
It's like they get these laws, and let's say under the guise of orders.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, you want me to go? I need to check, so I ain't gonna say shit. I'm gonna do what they say.
Yeah.
Not knowing what role you playing in a more diabolical plot. You know what I'm saying? It's that blind loyalty. You say, well, what I get for this loyalty? You gonna give me a check? I gonna get a Challenger? I gonna get a crib? But I can't. There's certain things I can't do.
Right.
I can't participate in. I can't say. Like, I don't ever want to be oppressed to the point where I can't be my authentic self. I can't really speak my mind. I gotta mask what I say. You know what I'm saying? To keep my job, to keep my benefits, to keep my friends.
That happened during COVID. What up, Brad?
Be rad, what it do?
Like, that happened during COVID.
I can't say what I can't be me.
Can't be you.
So who am I?
Well, from what America said, when you got that motherfucking Social Security number, you're a property of America.
You're right.
So that's why when people talk about, well, how the government gonna tell us what we can and can't do with our body? Well, y'all had your hand out asking them for, to pay for y'all food, to pay for y'all housing, to give y'all free health care. Y'all asked the government for a lot. So basically, y'all are actually owned by the government in a lot of this stuff that go on. So yeah, you got a Social Security card. You're owned by the government. That's why they can tell you if you can abort your baby today, and then you can today and you can't tomorrow, or vice versa. Yeah, they tell you what to do. That's why they say, hey, you ain't gonna get no job if you don't take this jab. Your ass will get fired, or you can't work. You got to sit out, take suspension, or they incentivize you. Do you know? I remember this. You remember when Krispy Kreme was giving away free boxes of donuts if you got a vaccine,
and somebody else was giving away free fries.
What? You ready to put
Fries.
your health on the line? This how I know you. This how I know we dumb. You take a jab. That's already gonna fuck you up. And you're gonna eat a dozen of glazed donuts, and then you're gonna get some French fries that ain't even real. That's how crazy we is. Like, you gonna put all of that bullshit in your body.
We're the most arrogant country. I think we're the most arrogant country outside of the UK.
Yeah.
On the planet, but the most tone deaf and ignorant.
Yeah, like that girl. I think you got this clip on here when that girl looking like she looked, talking about she don't like Donald Trump. What?
Yeah, and that's we got to start asking the question: who's qualified to be involved in politics or any political arena? Well, when you can get these people and get these people a platform and they giving them a platform because they know it's going to draw views. But how did they even get this view? If you look at the person, and you want to play that next?
We play next.
If you look at them and listen to them, you wouldn't think they can come up under. They can develop these thoughts and beliefs on their own. So it's some type of engine that's feeding it.
Well, she looks slow, and she basically said
she said
has a disability. So I don't know what that disability is. So, like I said, when we look at these people, it's like I keep telling you, most people are the R word. So, that's what.
See, we can't even say that because we'll get flagged.
Can we? I'm gonna look up the guidelines because I've been saying it.
You can't say it.
We can't say that. Oh, that's why sometimes.
That's why I be saying great. Like some people, the channels are not monetized anyway, so they'll say it.
Yeah.
They'll say it all the way up, but the money they won't let you. They're gonna hit you.
I can't believe that we living in a time where spaz out. You can't say spaz out. Beyonce said that in a song.
Yeah,
and they talk about that's ableism, and spaz out is a derogatory term. What?
We come up with these titles every day. Ableism. What the hell is that?
How do y'all take? They are special needs. Okay.
Yeah, special needs.
But how y'all take a word we've been saying for eons? Just like the rainbow. How y'all gonna take something like the rainbow and make it gay?
Because you look at some old movies, they would not get produced today.
I was just talking to when my wife got in her car. I was talking to the white man that was selling the car. I was like, I told him I had watched Superbad.
Yeah.
It is no way you can watch Superbad. You can produce Superbad in today's time. Superbad, Project X, Pineapple Express, all of those type of movies. You cannot watch. You can't do that. The F-bombs that was dropped in that movie. Come on now. Yeah, you couldn't do it. But anyways, let's back to Iran. Do you think how long you think before they actually declare? We're in war.
We're at war right now before it becomes imminent danger, if you will. That's day by day. Because again, we get news. I think when we get news updates, this shit didn't happen 2-3 days ago. You know what I'm saying? Probably a week ago.
Yeah.
So it's day by day.
So you don't think they gonna just because I know Congress got to declare actual war.
That's for people to take the procedures and they start operating the society under wartime. But you don't need no damn siren to know it's goddamn where you see them goddamn smoke. Hey, they ain't run the siren. Y'all see smoke and gunfire. Yeah, motherfuckers on.
Yeah, so it's crazy. I didn't know Iran was that big. And like I said, I think we live in a bubble over here in America. Yeah. And then we try to get and that like we know what's going on in the world politics. And I was glad that we do it because, maybe when the channel starts growing, more people call in to give us information and things to talk about and stuff we never thought about as well. It helped everybody get educated.
We would love some international support and communications. So we want to know real time and real deal.
Because 92 million, it's only 4 million people in Alabama.
92 million is a lot.
It's a lot of people that you're trying to just go over there and bomb like that. That's crazy.
And you don't know who's in that populace of 92 million. You got implants. Everybody in Iran ain't Iranian.
Yeah.
Just like everybody in America ain't American.
So, like I said, I just wonder when they're going to actually, Congress going to say we at war. And then Donald Trump keep talking about they can't have a nuclear weapon. Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. Iran can't have a nuclear weapon.
But you can.
But you can. Israel got one.
Come on, man.
Why we can't have one?
If anything go nuclear, everybody gone anyway.
Right.
Especially, man, it ain't. That's why I say they don't want to get. They want to use them other ballistics and Jericho missiles and shit. They got them missiles. The weaponry that America has in the U, it's crazy, dog.
That's one thing we should actually just do a show about the stuff that we see as far as the weapons.
The weapons, man.
It's crazy.
The rail gun, they got a bunch, man. That shit shattering. That shit is in the damage, dog.
That was in Congress talking about a gun that shoot ice bullets. So you get shot with it, you on at it melt away. You don't even know what the hell happened.
That's crazy.
Crazy, ain't it?
But
just think about you getting shot with an ice bullet, and then you die. You die from it, and it just melt away. Nobody know what happened.
No trace, no who it came from, no registry. But
that's wild.
Let's get into some more of these good videos, Cedric.
Let's go to the next one. Which one you want to talk about?
Yeah, we can go. We can go order. Have you go?
All right.
You probably had something else on.
So let's go here. We're gonna talk about the shooting, the political killings.
Yes, Melissa Hortman and her husband.
Be mad at me. I think some of them are pretty angry. I think that their job was to make folks who voted for that bill feel like, and I think that they succeeded.
Over in the Senate, a similar situation unfolded. Senate Majority Leader Erin Murphy forced to vote for a bill she too disagreed with to uphold the integrity of their compromise.
This one hurt. This one is a wound because of its reason. My colleagues across the aisle set this as their number one priority.
Asked whether the move would drive a wedge between her and the rest of her caucus, her DFL colleague, Senator John Marty, quickly stepped to her defense.
As a member of the caucus, yes, sir, she clearly was fighting against it every step of the way. In the negotiations, if we wanted a budget, we had to agree to that. She agreed to put up one vote for us because of that.
Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
Suspect in the attack on Minnesota lawmakers has his next court appearance at the end of next week. Charges include the murder of Democratic Representative Melissa Hortman, a former Speaker of the Minnesota House, and her husband, Mark.
Lilia Luciano spoke today with Representative Hortman's mother, father, and brother.
She had a little tiny wallet in her purse. It just had her ID and a credit card. But tucked in there with that was a prayer to St. Francis of Assisi. Make me a channel of your peace. And it was well worn, and it was in that simple little wallet. It was who she was.
While the killer was still at large, we were very upset and scared, and we really appreciate the efforts they made to quickly find him, and it felt like some relief. But then the police got their man, but we didn't get my sister back. My mom didn't get her baby back. And it just hurts.
How would you like to see this moment and perhaps the ultimate sacrifice that your daughter and son-in-law and brother-in-law made change this country?
The division needs to end. There was a time not that long ago when we could all work together, and whatever steps we need to get back there, I don't know how we do it, but we all have to try, and if it's one person at a time, we have to make it happen, and we can't let hatred and division rule the actions that are happening now.
The family of Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman, they told us there are plans for a memorial where the public can pay respects.
Sad situation. Now, Vance Bolter is the suspect that was arrested. You want to play that video of him? Did you put that on there?
No, I ain't getting over the ones you sent me.
Yeah, well, he was in the church. So
that was him?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, well, yeah, I got that.
Oh, you got it, yeah. So, because they say he got ties to Africa, some countries in Africa.
Okay.
And that's the translator that's on there.
Oh.
So he's speaking, but he got I don't know what country he's in, but it's an African translator.
Yeah, it's African people in the crowd too.
Yeah, it's always, I think he's in Africa.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. So it's very, I don't know what's the connect with her voting on this Republican ticket as a Democrat, and him unalive. Yeah, you'll see it because
And right here, and I'm just as excited about Jesus.
Et je suis juste excité
right
de
here,
Jésus.
right now.
Jusqu'à présent, même maintenant.
And when I get excited,
Et quand je suis excité,
I want to dance.
je veux danser.
And what Jesus did for me.
C'est que Jésus a fait pour moi.
Jesus is God.
Jésus est
Almighty
Dieu.
God.
C'est le Dieu
He
puissant.
saved my life.
Il a sauvé ma vie.
I'm excited about God.
Je suis excité de Dieu.
And I want to worship Him.
Et c'est pourquoi je l'adore.
Because He's coming again. And
Jésus, il revient encore.
And He's got plans. He's
Il
got
a
plans
de plans
and purposes
et le dessein
for each one of you
pour chacun de vous ici.
and for me.
Et pour
That's crazy.
now it's a lot of things from the optics of this, right?
Oh, let me read this post real quick.
Okay.
It said the man accused of killing the Hartmans, 57-year-old Vance Bolter, is in custody and facing federal and state murder charges following a 36+ hour manhunt that authorities said was the largest of its kind in state history. Investigators accused Bolter of also shooting and seriously wounding Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette about an hour before killing the Hartmans. Authorities also believe Bolter visited the homes of the two state lawmakers in the metro that same morning, one of whom wasn't home. The other Senator Unrest was at home, but Bolter was reportedly scared off by a police officer before approaching the residence. In the interview with CBS News, Melissa Hartman, mother Lisa, I don't know how to say her last name, was said the pain of her daughter's death is mind-numbing. It's been a very hard last few days. Her brother Patrick, last name I can't pronounce, said in what seems unfair and tragic the way her last night was spent, we're just trying to get by this. So dang, he shot 4 people that day, getting killed too.
But the way the media put that clip out that we played before him, as if her vote somewhat triggered her assassination. But you see this guy, and it sounds like this guy is speaking French. So, it's some French speaking, French is a language in a lot of African countries, but I'm not sure which country he's in here. But the optics of this alone, you got a white male preaching to a black community that is not English or American that needs a translator. The optics of that alone don't make you question what the hell am I doing here listening to him?
Yeah, because I just think about slavery again, Atlantic slave trade. Y'all say the white people came over there, missionaries doing all this type of stuff. Look like the same thing to me. Same thing still going in today's time, and it's scary to actually see that.
He has a translator who may or may not be translating the enthusiasm that they can't understand. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like bouncing around, saying some shit, but he's saying it calm. So the feeling ain't gonna be the same. You know what I'm saying? Like in the black church, the preacher get the hooping and hollering, sweating, busting off his forehead. Right. And the people get up, screaming, catching the Holy.
And that's kind of what he wanted them to do, but they
don't even understand the language. This alone shows you that black people have been exploited and been looked at as mentally inferior. You get to come and play in my face, and I probably paid to come see you.
And they allow a lot of that to happen because they know way like people like, and I get it might be some genuinely nice white people out there, but even for Mr. Beast to make all that money and then go over there and say we finna put 100 wells in Africa. Y'all mean tell me y'all still ain't got running water in Africa?
Come on, man. Africa is very developed in a lot of countries. It's not this slum that they make it out to be. Of course, just like America, you got poverty-stricken areas in any place in the world. You're gonna have poverty-stricken areas, but it's crazy how Mr. Beast, your Oprahs, and all these other mega millionaires and billionaires always trying to go to Africa, but ain't trying to fix or put no shit over here that would be needed and appreciated.
Because why Oprah built a school over there, and you see that most black boys can't even read on the third. Most black kids can't read on the 3rd grade level.
What the hell, Africa? How is Africa at the top of your priority?
That don't make sense.
So we
the
know
people that you relate to, the people that you grew up around, the culture, You don't want to help those type of people out.
Under the guise of philanthropy, these, it's a part of the brand. Let me make it appear that I'm giving something back or that I'm doing something noble. So, but you find out her mentor, spiritual healer that I posted. Did you see that?
I seen him.
Just got 99 years for inappropriate exposure to young kids, for lack of better words. You can read between the lines.
It's still, I don't know, bro. Like my mind, the amount of stuff with all these kids, ring bus, sexual ring bus kids, all the rituals and the behind the doors stuff that we see. It really fucks my spirit and my mind to know that there's people like that out here, and it's so vast. It's so many of them out here that just mess with kids in that manner. That's crazy to me. Like I can't fathom it. Like if I look at a kid, I don't even see anything sexual about a kid. Like it's nothing. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
It's a sick, twisted individual, because they was talking about how the Mexican cartels are now, because they got heavy patrol around the borders. All them kids they found in Texas, this is a result of that, because they scrambling looking for alternative routes. Because they closing all the border with the ICE and all that. So they all this again, when you say they coming over with kids and they do the test and this kid ain't even theirs. Right. You just got a kid on your hip, like you the guardian or the parent.
Right.
But people look at these kids are currency. Like kids are really harvested and it ain't talked about enough.
It's not.
And they saying, watch your kids. It was a white guy. I forgot. I should have sent it to you. He was saying, be on high alert. Like watch your children. Like these kids be missing. I don't think people understand, like, because they don't experience. I never experienced it, but to see the anguish on a parent's face to not know where their child is, nothing. You ain't got the confirmation.
I remember as a kid, we might see one or two parents talk about their child missing, and you see the flyers and the poster. Remember on the milk cartons, we used to have the milk missing on the milk and shit like that.
Yeah.
But you don't really see none of that nowadays. And I think a lot of it is because I think a lot of parents are actually just selling their kids out with all the drugs and the fence and the opioid crisis and crack and all that. I think a lot of these parents are just really just selling their kids out. That's why you don't see a lot of the actual missing stuff. Because you could go to Walmart maybe a few years ago still, and they would have a big, how they had a board in there and have a whole bunch of pictures of missing kids. You don't even see that no more in Walmart.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So we just in a different time. And, when you look at the border, all those kids, like even they were talking about like during the Biden administration, thousands of kids that who they came across the border with don't have the same DNA as the person they came with.
And looking at this guy again, these assassins, they put that narrative out there very quickly, as if I'm like, what he preaching and his ties and all that. Why it don't even seem that he even had a interest in immigrant healthcare.
Yeah,
it don't make sense, but they threw it out there to throw us off.
So you think it's something different?
Again, you got a Democrat vote Republican. You heard what she said. She said I know they're gonna be disappointed that I voted against it.
Yeah.
The fact that this is even on the table, immigrant healthcare. We know a lot of Ponzi schemes go through that healthcare stuff. With Scrooge.
Yeah.
Millions, if not hundreds of millions, embezzled. You see what I'm saying? So people use that healthcare as a funnel, like a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And I think what it is, because they just passed the stuff, I think in the House, they cut all of that USAID. They cut
Medicaid and stuff.
Yeah, $9.4 billion waste, what they call it, waste, fraud, and abuse. So I guess all of this gonna be part of it now. And what is it Minnesota?
Yeah.
This was in Minnesota. Now you got this bill where they're not going to support the immigrants getting health care, which is going to be, a lot of people ain't going to get no money. Because you got to think about it. Even during COVID, when they was having all the migrants come over and stuff like that, they was talking about, I forgot what base, I think it was like the New York Mets or somebody was looking for a hotel, and the hotel was packed because they rented it out. They was getting paid from the government to house, migrants in the hotel rooms. So when I think it was a Dodgers team, I might be wrong. The Dodgers had came to like New York, and all the hotels was taken up because they was
they voting on a ballot to put give migrants health care, free health care.
We how crazy it is that Americans, we don't get free health care.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So again,
and the niggas are over here fighting for that. Just like you seen the video of the older women in the 70s talking about migrants that I posted on the page.
I think I saw that.
But yeah, like I don't. Now me and Brad was talking about this. I don't understand how black people became so liberal because the stuff that we call and see white people talking about it, we was talking the same way in the 70s because we understood that, hey, when these migrants and these immigrants come over here, they was gonna take our jobs. They was gonna replace us because we too close together. We the lowest people on the totem pole in America. You get these people over here, what that's gonna do to us?
Because when you look at them, they gonna work. They're not gonna be calling in. They're gonna go to work. They are better suited for this society as a capitalist society. I'm gonna pay you whatever this wage is. Y'all gonna band together anyway. So if I'm paying you in 12 to 18, y'all still gonna make it work from the 12 or the 18 an hour or the 20 an hour.
Yeah.
But this guy's just a fall guy. This is her.
So you think he was sent?
Yeah, her vote for voting on that Republican ticket as a Democrat. That alone also was shocking. That we can get into that, but yeah,
it's shocking because she's Democratic voting for Republican, or it's shocking because she voted against the immigration.
Yeah, she Democrat voting on entry because this supposed to be a lot of tension. You supposed to be holding firm on your side, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, it just makes sense though. At the same time,
we know what makes sense, but
it's kind of like
I'm a Crip wearing red.
Yeah, but people switch parties all the time though.
Yeah, what she stated, I know they're going to be disappointed in me. She didn't say, but nothing about switching parties.
But I'm saying that could have happened, and she could have switched later. She could have voted this. They could have been mad at her. She said, "You know what, y'all motherfuckers is crazy. Y'all believe in chopping dicks off, letting migrants come in here, stay for free, healthcare. We don't even do the American people like this. Going to jail, I can go to prison, get sex affirmative care. I'm done with y'all. I'm gonna go be a Republican." Because that could have happened.
Yeah, if she jumped ship, it makes sense. The assassination, and we need your vote. Your vote weigh heavy. Your influence weigh heavy on agenda.
But like I said, she could be ruffling some feathers. So they say, hey, we gotta go and get her out of here. We ain't gonna wait for an election cycle because you gotta think about this too. It's probably a bunch of bills and shit about to get ready to come up. We gotta get her on out the way.
This is the born identity in real life. I'm telling y'all, because make it look like it's this person's a ghost that did that. You ain't gonna even know about it.
Yeah, like I said, it's probably a bunch of bills about to come up. We can't have her dissenting like this. Hey, we need something to go through. So you gotta, if you ain't gonna ride with us, hey, you gotta get up out of that. Now you gotta get somebody else in there, come in there and vote, make these decisions.
Do what we say, cause we done lined your pockets up. Now you finna go against the grain. Yeah. If y'all haven't seen the Born Identity, the series, the Born Supremacy, it's like 3 or 4 of them. I watch all of them, but that's what's going on right now.
And like Brad said, the aliens are the new lower class and cheaper pay. I agree. That goes back to even minimum wage. Like minimum wage was like a socialist ideal. It was never supposed to. Minimum wages never was supposed to work in a capitalistic society.
It worked for the ones who paying the minimum wage, not for the ones who working for it.
But see, the thing about minimum wage, or the reason that it wasn't supposed to be a thing, is because it made it more competitive for the prices that you get to work for. See, when you make a minimum wage, there we've seen this. Every time you go minimum wage, prices go up. Every time minimum wage go up, prices go up because you're letting the government dictate, hey, well, we're going to pay this. You're going to get paid 20. Okay, well, we're going to raise our prices. Everything will go up a few cents. You think you're getting paid more.
That's why I say one party benefits all the time.
Right, but that's why I'm saying minimum wage wasn't supposed to be that, because before minimum wage, everything could be competitive. What you work for and the prices you pay.
You get what you work for, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And that's why I say with the minimum wage, I'm gonna just phase workers out. You gotta be 14 to work here, 15 with a work permit. And I'm sorry, 16 to work here, 15 with a work permit, whatever. You're gonna work here too. I got somebody else who wants your job. I'm just keep phasing y'all out, paying y'all, and I'm gonna adjust it as the economy sees fit, but I'm still gonna take home my bottom dollar.
Yeah, see, even you see in Florida now, they passed a law where they can I think 16-year-olds can get jobs now.
Yeah.
No, I think it's getting bad now. The job market.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They passed a law where they allow 16-year-olds to work now.
But did we have something else on him, or did we? I sent you.
I think those were on the video I got with that one.
Okay, we got we did Iranian leader. It was what was the other one?
The other one is,
and I forgot what I sent you.
False flag.
Oh yeah. The girl. I forgot her name.
Wake up, Americans. You're about to be pulled into a war with Arabs, with the Muslim world. And you're going to be made to believe that something horrible that happened to you was done by the Muslims. But it wasn't done by the Muslims. It was done by a wild card, the Israeli Mossad, that's cunning and ruthless and can carry out attacks on Americans and make it look like Arabs did it.
That's the literal definition of a false flag. They didn't write that. That's a false flag.
That's not my conspiracy theory. That's the U.S. Army report.
The day before, published the day before 9/11.
Yes. You can call me any name you want to call me. That's a U.S. Army report. They warned us. They were telling us what Israel is capable of doing.
Now,
I think we're about to see a lot of that.
How diabolical is that? You know, you got people who Floyd Mayweather monkey head ass. Reason I stand behind Israel, and you don't have. Come on, dog.
Nigga, you just learned how to read 2 years ago. You 45.
You're a boxer. You're an entertainer. You're great at that. The fact that you're being pulled is a political pun. A lot of these are bought and paid Negroes.
That nigga said, "I'm the GAOT."
Oh, yeah.
I was not ready.
He's the gout. It's crazy, man. Like what he just stated, and people get again jumping on the front line for the migrants, jumping on front line for Israelis. You being played with. And he said he read that from an actual report.
Yeah.
A military report.
But after 9/11, it wasn't long after that. There was like a year after 9/11 happened. They came out that they had reports, but then they put it on the guys of why they didn't take it serious, because they said, well, we get reports and stuff all the time and threats all the time. We can't check up on all of. We get millions and millions of these threats all the time. That's what they say now.
I posted on my Facebook when I was active about 2017. It was in regards to what's that movie, man, with Gary Webb, the reporter who was exposing the country wars and the war, the quote unquote war on drugs in California, where they was locking all them black people up in the crack epidemic. Yeah, I can't think. If y'all know it, put it in the chat. It was Gary Webb. He was a reporter. He ended up getting murdered, but they ruled it as suicide. He got shot twice in the back of the head, and they ruled it suicide. Yeah, this was like in the mid-90s, but he stated it was either a 400 or a 40-page document explaining all of the people involved in the transportation and the infiltration of the black community using cocaine. All of it released. Like you see him in the court, in the hearings at the city council.
Yeah.
You see him in there, and he got assassinated and say it was suicide.
Yeah, because who the hell shoot themselves in the back of the head?
Yeah, so that wouldn't be far-fetched that they put it in plain view, but they know you ain't gonna go and read it. You don't even know where to go.
Yeah.
To pull this report.
Right. You
got to go through a bunch of red tape. Well, how do I get this document? How do I get this document? And they know the American people not even concerned with that shit.
Yeah,
ain't that crazy?
It's crazy. And I think a lot of this shit's scary. I think it's scary because we got so many people that just walking around day to day, not knowing what's really going on. Not knowing that they're being used as a pawn, and not knowing that they are actually being used to interfere with other people that's actually trying to make it out or trying to make it better for for you, for them, for their family, because we're so doped up on emotions, and they keep us like this. And that's why I keep telling people when it comes to like racism, it's a real thing. But every time they put a black man getting killed by a police in your face, you got to ask yourself, why is that? Why they don't do that with the white man and the white people go out and march and stuff like that, or the Hispanic or the Asian or anybody like that? They always do it with the black people because they know we doped up on emotions like that. So like with the false flags, you can have these type of conversations with like black people say, when it first happened, 9/11, the government do it, and the government did it, and they couldn't, in their mind, couldn't fathom the government doing some bullshit on his own turf.
They flooded you with the crack. They flooded you with all that, your food, education.
Right.
But they want what?
Tuskegee experiment.
Tuskegee.
Like, you gotta think about this. I literally like 2 weeks ago was watching like old video, and I don't know why all these old videos just been coming up lately, like hearings and stuff. Yeah. But I was watching like a Senate hearing of Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
number of black ladies on this panel, and they was talking about the levees, and they were saying the levees didn't break, bombs went off. And the white man was saying, so y'all want us to believe that bombs went off? And all the ladies are sitting there and saying, yes, bombs went off. It was the levee did not break. You could see it and hear the bombs going off. That's why the levee broke. It wasn't because there was malfunction. And it's like, damn, like the government really went down there and blew that shit up like that.
There's a lot of controversy behind that Katrina as far as them prisons. They ain't even try to evacuate them prisoners out there. Say a couple hundred, if not a couple thousand, died in the prison, drowned.
Crazy.
How crazy? Like your law and where you got 20, your law just is not we all because you know the guards and they dipped.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all done left these people to die in these prison, man.
Yep,
that's crazy, dog.
Crazy, scary, and when I just remember like seeing water so high up on them roof levels,
Man,
like
it was high as hell.
People standing on their roof to get away from that flood.
Yep.
When I watched 9/11, they've been like I said, they've been playing old video. I seen a video a different 9/11 video I ain't never seen before, and they was showing when the building started coming down, the explosions right before the explosion just coming out the building. And Donald Trump main thing when it happened, they got clips of him saying, "Hey, architecturally," he said, "I build buildings for a living. Buildings don't come down like that unless they were demolished."
Yeah, they say they use this thing called thermite. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah, they say that's what
the white
they
boys
say.
be playing with it. As you see them on YouTube playing with it, blowing it up.
They say it gets so hot. You look at some of the cars on the street, it melt that bitch down to the frame.
Yeah.
They say it burn that hot. He said jet fuel don't burn that hot.
Yeah.
Said this was thermite.
But even where
that's what they use for demolition.
You gotta think about it. Even where they hit the buildings,
yeah.
they hit the buildings. They hit the plane hit the building at the top.
Yeah.
Why the rest of it just fall like that?
Crumble like cookies.
Yeah, they don't even. It just even logically don't even make sense for a building just to fall like that. We done seen trees fall on big ass tree fall on houses, not even built like that out of wood, not steel frames and stuff, and the houses don't even fall.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me now these buildings that's 100 stories up? Nah, man. And like I said, you had these conversations. I think more black people are starting to wake up to understand that America is not your friend.
Nah.
The government is not your friend. And like I said, the government is needed to a certain extent. But when you start, I can't think of the saying, but it's like basically, the government does things so you will invite them in, basically. So when you start seeing people talk about welfare, they want to housing, they want you to protect them from COVID, they want you to take their guns and work, and you protect them from foreign entities and government. When it gets to the point where the government does all these things, and now you're like, yes, government, we want more of you, and then I'm like, I want less government.
You want more, yeah, and it come with their rules and stipulations,
right? And that's what, like I say, if you allow a person to feed you, you allow a person to starve you.
That's true.
That's what's the part that I don't think a lot of people understand. But like I said, that nigga in that live video, that ain't funny. But that video, the dude killed the girl.
Oh man,
that nigga said she said something about her food stamp. He said, "Don't worry, Trump about to cut all that shit out." That shit had me weak as hell.
Yeah,
he said Trump about to cut all that shit out, and that is true. Like now we get to the point where you see the stuff about the SNAP benefits. Say, hey, you got to work a certain amount of hours if you're a single mother, but if you married,
20 hours a week.
If you married, one person can sit at home and still get the benefits, and that makes sense.
Incentivizing the family.
It makes sense because that's why America will fall. That's why you got a lot of these slow, special needs motherfuckers out here running around talking about they don't like Trump, but they ain't got number 2 teeth in their damn head. Like, you got bigger problems to worry about than Trump.
You gonna play it?
Let's play it.
And this gonna open up a different type of question.
You got more issues than worry about Trump.
What brought you out here today to the Trump? What brought you out here today to the Trump protests?
I'm tired of that orange man trying to take control and try to do things illegally and unconstitutional.
How has your life changed since Trump took office a few months ago?
I just don't like him in general. Like, he makes fun of the people who are disabled, and I am disabled. He makes, he doesn't like people of color, and I'm just sick of him. So is everybody else in America.
And what's the message you would give to Trump supporters?
Fuck you. This is what you fucking...
allow people to get on here and say and look like anything. That's crazy. That girl got one. She got one extremely large tooth in her mouth. I don't know how her teeth get that big, but that's crazy. And then you talk. I don't know. People need to hold up mirrors too.
I don't have a response. You just see it and you be like, well, is this person qualified, and is this information of their own independent thought, or is this something they've been told to say, or just a downloaded or regurgitated rhetoric? The orange man, you see that, and you see that with mostly women. I see some dudes saying that the orange man.
We need this is a thing for like voting and stuff. We need tests.
Aptitude test.
It needs some type of test. If you're gonna vote in these elections, you need some type of test. You should not just be able to vote out here and you don't know, amendments and shit like that, presidents and laws and why you vote. It need to be some type of test before you vote.
Yeah,
I think another thing we need to women need to not be able to vote. That's a
controversial take,
I don't think women should be able to vote.
I've seen that on many different occasions.
I think
again, if they're abreast and understand, and like I said, the test or whatever the screening is, then okay. But just anybody can go in there and vote, no, because you got
no. Because you could say that, but then you can have somebody that's small, but she don't want to rock the boat or go against the status quo or her feelings. So we seen with Kamala didn't give us no good policies. Yeah. And you still had 92% black women vote for Kamala just because she black. Now we already did the black shit with Obama. Now
we had some black women that voted for Trump,
but I just said 92, so you got the 8%.
Yeah, that's why I say if you want to get this 8%, your ass better be understanding.
You know how big of a jump you got to get to really make.
I know. Make it. It gotta be made that way.
So let's just take everybody down to 8%.
I give you an example, right? Let's say because they changed the military test or the physical fitness test for women to meet the metrics or whatever. Take it back to the old standard where men had to be really, because I remember dudes being they jacked, they doing 1,000 push-ups a day. If this woman can keep up with that, they in.
But they don't. That's
why I said if. So you got a small percentage.
No, but for the women, they have changed it completely.
I know. That's why I said if she can keep up with this old standard, meaning she can bench like me, run like me, push up like me, understand it is on par. This is an exception. She earned the right to come into this space.
Okay. Well, I maybe I get that. And the reason I give you that because it's probably one or two.
It'd be rare because it's going to show your dedication and investment. To wanting to be a part of this process versus you just thinking it's a privilege, right? But you don't make the same sacrifice. You don't deal with the same obstacles, the same losses. You pushing for reproductive rights, which I understand, but that's not. The reproductive rights are self-explanatory. Wait till you get married, and the rights don't matter at that point. Now, do they? So we take the standard back to what makes sense.
Yeah. Because even when you think about like just the military and stuff like that, what a 120-pound, 30-pound woman gonna do if I get shot in the leg? I need her to carry me back.
Again, I understand all that. That's what I'm saying. In the appropriate areas, the way they would fit. If you meet the metric of the guy that you're same size, whatever. Yeah. All right, you're an exception. That means you train or did whatever, had the mental capacity to meet this number. If you didn't, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, women don't need to work too. But like I said, and I know that may be controversial. And I just go back to when I worked in the plant, and I always tell the story. When I'm at the plant and there's men and women at the plant, they always talk about the production of the women slow down, especially summertime hit. Summertime hit, you coming in the plant at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's 100 degrees already because of the heat that's coming off the rocks and off the water and off the belt line and stuff like that. So it's hot already before the sun even come up. So they come in there sweating, dragging, acting like they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They like they don't know what to do. They take extremely long bathroom breaks. They go into the break room. They faking injuries. They like, oh man, I got hurt. So they'll go in there and go into the nurse and sit down for 6 hours and act like that. Their hand got broke or hurt or something, so they can't do any more work. So the production of women dropped drastically, especially during the summertime. Wintertime might be about on par, but summertime. And I'm like looking at this, and they asking us, hey, Can you pick this box up? This box heavy. I can't lift it. 100-pound box. The lady ain't up but 130 pounds. She gonna pick all day long. You picking up 100-pound boxes? Come on now.
Now I do agree. Certain industries it shouldn't be one like
Right,
steel plants, nursing. Yes,
But no,
teaching.
Hold on, I'm gonna
yeah.
say this.
Yeah.
Nursing, even when I listen to nurses talk about nursing back then and nursing now, it's way more taxing now to be a nurse than back then.
Yeah, it is.
So when you think about, just think about this now. Most people are overweight. I need you to wipe my ass, roll me over, wash my dick and my coochie. You can't lift my legs, lift my belly up. Now they got these big ass crane machines. You still got to go and be able to lift this person up and scrap them in, and then
roll like a rotisserie. Yeah, you do.
You got to scrap this big bitch up and roll her ass up and shit. Yeah. And you can't even clean her like she supposed to be clean. Got bed soles and shit. Like,
and that go with a lot of stuff. I think it's systems. Systems are made and they're modified. Mm-hmm. So you have the proper systems, the proper supports that where it's not as taxing on the woman that's in the nursing field. You see what I'm saying? It's not as, mentally draining because you got the support and the systems make sense. A lot of the stuff, I hear this all the time with a lot of jobs. They got us doing all this stuff. It don't make sense when we can just do it this way. Or you hear it on it and across the board, many different industries. Yeah. And you ask, well, I'm doing the job. That means I'm a little bit more familiar with what makes sense and it's more efficient. Yeah. You want me to do this extra step, but you ain't really giving me a logical explanation. So they know, but if I don't really understand it, I ain't gonna really do it. You'll have a few, but most people ain't there just because we do. Most people gonna do what makes sense.
Right.
Most, even if they doing bullshit.
I just feel like we let women trick themselves into some bullshit.
Yeah, they did it to themselves. Working really assembly lines, pipe, right. US pipe.
What the fuck? So like when I'm seeing, when I get on social media, and yeah, this is basically kind of like a false flag too. When I get on social media and I see so many women talking about who signed us up to work.
I see that, yeah.
Like I see that so much now. Like I never thought I would see today because y'all want to be boss babe, y'all want to listen to a nigga, y'all want to be Miss Independent. You got your own crib, own car, own house. Like this is a badge of honor. But then the next post, the next couple of posts, who signed us up to work? No, I thought you wanted to be Miss Independent, want to work, don't want to be submissive, don't want to listen to a nigga. Y'all want to hyphenate your names now and all this shit. Like I can't believe this is a real conversation about. You seen that post?
Which one?
Girl said, you can marry me all you want to, but that name's still getting hyphenated.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Now, this is the thing. If you was to do it, that's why I say when we get out into these streets, we're going to start doing these polls and you ask 20 people, whether it's men or women, do you believe you are indoctrinated? I guarantee you 19 out of 20 going to say, no, I ain't indoctrinated. They're going to say no. And that's going to tell me that you are.
Well, it depends on the explanation on why they said it not. Why not?
I'm saying they answer wouldn't be a yes or no. The unindoctrinated, their answer ain't gonna be a yes or no. They're gonna get into it. But I say if you ask a yes or no, are you indoctrinated? No.
Oh, I got you.
And like ourselves, if that question come to us, we know yes or no is not the answer.
Right.
We say, I know the attempts to indoctrinate me via, and I give you the outlets, education, religion,
and I might
food, etc.
I might even say that question was asked to me partially. There've been times where I've caught myself doing something and I'm thinking it's normal, but then I wake up or something happens like this is stupid.
Are you playing into? Oh, they got a Christmas party. I'm gonna put my Christmas sweater on, knowing ain't shit Christmas about Christmas.
Right. or sex. My biggest thing for me when I knew I was indoctrinated was sex. How I viewed sex, what I thought about sex, the TV shows, Sex in the City, even the older men telling me how I'm supposed to go about getting sex, what to do with sex. And then we was having all this type of information, all this programming on TV, all the music that we was listening to with the rap and stuff like that. Then I go to church and they say, wait till you marry.
Yeah. And that's the simplest formula.
It is.
Let the hardest path.
But just think about it. I'm getting this way. I'm getting indoctrinated with this shit 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm only going to church Wednesday and Sunday. And we ain't having too many. And all the sermons ain't about waiting before you wait to get married.
You're right.
So you got to think about that. I might get that sermon once a month compared to Sex in the City.
I
rap
recant my
music.
statement. I think all of us are indoctrinated, and we
Yeah.
participate in indoctrination practices on a daily. I think we may be aware, but I can try to go against this as much as I can. I'm still gonna find my way back doing the same
Same
1-2
shit.
show.
But like I said, I think it comes with anything. With it's about trying and learning and being disciplined. I think a lot of the even I think how we even view sex now, the conversations that we have about sex, and we're older, of course. I think that plays a big part. But and I don't think we would give the information that we got to as younger guys when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
Because now when having sex, a lot of times, of course, you're going to do it. You having sex for enjoyment or fun time. Sometimes it can be leisurely, but it's a lot of stuff that comes behind sex. Setups. You get set up by a bitch, you're going to smash. You don't know. You get
they got a title called,
STDs.
yeah, they got to set. Call it the setup queen. They got a title for this.
Setup queen.
Yeah, they call it this in many different states.
Oh, I ain't know that.
Birmingham. I've been watching it's been 2 or 3 different young ladies in Birmingham title setup queen.
What?
Yeah, the light skin, I forgot, rest in peace. She got unalive last year in front of her house. Yeah, I think she's like 20, 21, something like that.
That's crazy.
And the dude went on live and was trying to say his phone wasn't ping. It was a bunch of Vito was into it with it. But just those things that come behind the sex, and is like I said, we've been trained to go about it we got to play games. You got red pill, you got game or dumb or whatever they title it. Hey, you do. I got to go through all this when attraction is the most simplest thing
right
in the world. Either she like you or she don't.
She don't.
If you got to do all that shit and all that, she don't like you, but you can't pay a chick to like you, dog.
Right, but I think, like I said, it go back to the sex aspect. I'm just trying to smash her if she like me or not knowing that a lot of times the best sex gonna come from somebody that you like or they like you.
If she smashes, she like you.
Not necessarily, because you might have something that she would think she can extract from.
Well, she like something about you. I'm saying she like the money, but you would know because you got to do it first.
But not everybody gonna know that.
Yeah, I'm saying the common sense tell you, damn, I gotta pay first. The moment you gotta pay first is over.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of dudes care about that.
They don't, but they should.
Yeah, I agree. What you saying, I agree.
Yeah,
they should care, but when you younger, you don't know as much. A lot of guys, and we always had this conversation too. A lot of times, her just being fine enough will make the sex better. Just because she's fine, you get to, you gotta think about it. Niggas fuck their hands.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? So you get a chance to use a fine bitch as a masturbation tool. It is a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you get older and you think about like experience, like when I go to restaurants, it ain't just simply just the food.
It's the experience.
It's the experience. It's the plating. It's the ambiance. It's the decor. Yeah. It's the people that's in it. Did I get dressed up to come? It's like a whole thing. Yeah. So I treat sex the same way. Yeah. Like it's an experience. Like you're wearing lingerie. How does her body look? How is our conversation? How does she smell? What is the ambiance in the room? Like all of these things have to be encompassed for it to be a great experience for me. And that's what I look for with women. Like I want to have an experience. I don't want to just
smash
beat you and here, bitch, you go to rag. You know what I'm saying? I don't
get out.
Get out. You know, wipe yourself off. I don't
wipe yourself off. That's crazy. Wipe yourself off. That's wild. But that's true though. Like it's the experience.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the guys don't. Well, we were taught just to, bust it, bust it down real quick. That's cool. But like I said, we old. I've been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? So, if you feel that way, I mean, you may not feel old, but like I say, it is a thing. We've been indoctrinated, and like I said, I think sex is a big thing. Religion is part of that too. A lot of us been indoctrinated with religion. Mm-hmm. Even though there is a lot of good things in religion, and the Bible to kind of teach you, like train a child in a way to go that he may never depart. That's why the government wants your children early. Everybody know you got to get children early, and early as possible is the best way.
Yeah, you're right.
It's easier to train children than it is to fix broken men.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, like I said, it's civil unrest right now. You see the title of the video. Subscribe to the channel. We got any more video?
I thought that's it right
That's
there.
it. Y'all want to call in? Give us a call. You see the number below. Hit the Cash App. If you want to support, subscribe, become a member of the YouTube channel as well. And I got a few ideas that, we want to open it up to the people who support and get some panel going for those who can't be here in the physical. Well, we let them create the conversation. What you think?
What you mean, like the titles?
Yeah, create the conversation. What you bring is what we discuss.
I think that'd be good.
That'd be good. Like, what y'all want to talk about? Hey, let's talk about this. We do the research real time, pull it up, rip it, run it.
That'd be good.
I know people got their own, convictions and beliefs that they want to get off. So,
I think that'd be a different thing for the panels.
Yeah.
Panels too, because I think relationships, even like I'm looking at the landscape of like social media, I don't see a lot of relationship talks now.
I think people have accepted what is here.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of relationship talks like that no more.
And that's survival of the baddest.
Survival of the baddest.
Survival of the baddest. If you're a bad chick and you know it, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
If you're, teetering on the, whatever, and if you're a guy, the best thing you can do is get your money right, get your body right, get in the gym. Right. You ain't gonna really have to do too much. You ain't gonna have to buy the bottles, and you ain't gonna really have to do all of the extra stuff. Just being fit and in pristine condition, I would say, mentally, physically, financially. I think that's gonna take you a long way. A lot of women I'm seeing in the videos, men are not approaching us. Where the men at? We're going to the mixer. There's no men. Men, the numbers again do not equate to monogamy. And when you look at it from a logical standpoint, the math, it's way more women than men. And then a lot of women are gonna cut a big percentage of men out just off a bunch of different things.
Right.
Complexion, height, weight, whatever, you're gonna slash. So that number increases for the women, won't need small percentages of men.
Yeah.
Yet these women, they can't process that. That there is about 6 of y'all just as bad at minimum. This at minimum.
The realest thing I heard about women and dating, a lot of women don't believe they losers.
That's true.
That's some real shit. Like a lot of women think they bad bitches, and you can see the most busted and disgusted bitch. It's just, and you'll look in her comment section, she'll be, showing she got a fat ass, but she not that cute. She overweight with it, and you still see hard eye with these niggas. I'm like,
you can't beat the system. So again, but what they're gonna be yearning for as times get harder, because they will, is that mental maturity, the provision, the financial, the firmness of a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, cause I was on the fence at one point as far as just a long-term relationship with one woman.
Yeah.
Cause I never seen it in a healthy capacity.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So now, it's people setting reality sets in. What I got another birthday, just hit 37. 38, 42. No marriage discussion on this table. You see what I'm saying? So now it's a scramble.
Yeah.
I got to get in where I gotta see what's left, or I gotta see what's available, or I just gotta latch on to a guy who wife didn't took him for granted already. She stopped fucking.
Yeah.
Now he at the bar, he out of town, he doing this thing. Oh, got me one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think people understand. Like, relationships is what you make of them a lot of times. It's a natural occurrence. So you go and do the games. That game shit is bullshit. If you playing any type of game with it, is that it's not real.
Well, I think those go back to the manipulative motherfuckers. They play the games.
Most gonna play this game and try to one up, have that advantage. They the guy that they know may be less than intellectually that they can control, right. Or whatever the case may be.
Or niggas use their money because they know this bitch is a $40 bitch. She didn't die of need, so
she gonna do you bad. You got more to lose than she do. So,
and so, like I said, we had these conversations. They gotta be real. When I look at the landscape of, like I said, the relationships and shit, I don't even see a lot of podcasts even talking about relationships like that at all. Like I used to see clips, a bunch of clips of Fresh and Fit. I don't even see them clips no more.
I still catch them. They have some clips here and there. It's just they're too far gone. It's not even a thought. It's survival mode now. They trying to get the money. And by any means, if I got a prostitute, OnlyFans, trick, fake trick, whatever, they're gonna do it. That's the priority.
I seen a clip today. It was yesterday. He said females will really be calling niggas trick, but won't call themselves prostitutes.
I seen it.
I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? They don't even see themselves as that. But I've been saying it. Like people talking about the post I posted. Girl said, niggas really think taking a girl on a date is tricky. I said it is. That's why I wish we could skip to the prostitution.
That's crazy.
Like let's not play. Like you know why you here. I know why I'm here. I want to hit that ass. Let's stop the bullshit. I don't want to sit across the table from you. Listen to you tell me about your favorite color.
Yeah.
Your dog died. How you know what school? I don't want to listen to none of that. Baby, been that asshole.
I seen the women say the best way to get with me is pay a bill. Real men pay bills. Like you're not my wife or my one. Why? You see the front load. I'm coming at you with that.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna last. You just looking for somebody to pay some bills. That's it. And they ain't paying them for free.
But they know that. We all know what time it is.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, and then women be like, oh yeah, they just be sending men just be sending it. Random men just send you just random money and you ain't giving no ass.
As prices go up, so does the hoeing. You heard it here first.
Oh yeah.
As things get more expensive, people get more desperate. People are willing to swallow pride and dignity. And one of the guys keeping them lights on. Yeah, exactly.
They'll swallow it all.
So stay vigilant, stay resilient. Like I said, we're taking calls. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in today. Make sure you subscribe. Go follow the pages. Subscribe to the YouTube channels. Again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. As days go on, you're going to have new updates with this war. You're going to see what's going on with the migrant crisis. You're going to see what's going on with these children. Again, we didn't do the story. We're going to do that probably Monday because I'm sure there'll be some more information about the.
Well, we can do it Saturday. I ain't really got nobody to come in Saturday. We can talk about a lot of Saturday.
We can get into it Saturday. The boys missing in Canada.
Yeah.
Missing children just in general. Like I said, that needs to be a regular conversation versus you seen this person 3 days removed, 4 days. You don't know where this person at by this time.
Bruh, did you see that story of the dude as a 21-year-old boy that killed the 20-something?
The baby mama of 4?
Yeah.
The boyfriend.
Yeah.
Did I send you that?
No, I seen it on Facebook. And me and my wife was talking about it. I said, why are these old women keep talking to these young niggas?
Boyfriend. It was another story. It was 2 different ones.
Bruh, I kept my wife got together. And I was like, yeah, I used to tell people like, hey, we about to see a lot of these niggas killing these females, right?
Yeah.
And intimate partner homicide. That shit then went up 20%. And I don't understand. People just don't grasp how much 20% is.
Yeah.
20% is a lot.
Yeah.
And they said most of the domestic violence, if you research, most of it is black relationships. Most of them are black relationships.
I follow the channels. We need to do that Saturday.
What?
I'm going the video I sent.
Yeah.
At least this one channel, at least 60 stories.
Let's do that Saturday.
Same profile. And a lot of women think they're going to get old and get these YNs for boyfriends. These young guys are mentally unstable. If they messing with you, it's because you provide some type of tangible benefit outside of sex.
Because these women are raising their own killers.
Y'all, it's crazy. Y'all don't, again, you think you do something and it only affects you. That's not how this works. If I create a bastard with no provision, no identity, no purpose, no value, he's going to go and see it in the streets and he's going to be a taker.
Right.
And that's going to be taking a life or some ass, or if not both.
Yeah.
But what you guys said?
We ain't got no callers today. Like I said, we'll be back Saturday. That's what we do Saturday.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Let's do that Saturday. I think that'd be a good show.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Follow us on all social media platforms. We on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and we are on, I think that's it. Don't forget to subscribe to Chris OnlyFans. He got the OnlyFans popping right now.
What crazy? Only bands.
The only bands.
Only bands.
The only bands. It's a new normal podcast. We're going peace.